March 29th, 2024, and my fucking phone won't shut up. 5 goddamn times Leonard Reynolds named my so-called father blazes across the screen like a neon middle finger, each vibration rattling my glass desk like a junkie's last plea. I'm 15 stories up in my Chicago fortress, 800 miles from that soul-crushing rancher shithole, where I learned to fool myself into nothing. The skyline glimmers like a taunting promise outside my window, but inside, it's a war zone. Then the email hits subject line screaming your sister needs you last chance, and Leonard's words drip with venom. Claire's wedding is the most important event of her life. Be there, or forget about any future support. Support? What a fucking joke. The voicemail comes next, his voice booming through my apartment like a dictator's decree. Madison, it's your father. I don't know what game you're playing, but this has gone on long enough. Your sister's wedding is in 2 weeks, and the festivities start this weekend. If you can't put aside whatever grievance you have for Claire's special time, then you can forget about any future support from this family. Your mother is beside herself with worry. Call me back immediately. Susan's text hangs right after. All desperate and pathetic. Please call. Your father is getting impatient. Impatient? Good, let the bastards do. I don't need their crumbs. I've got 139 stashed in my savings. Blood money I scraped together while they kissed Claire's ass for every half-assed ribbon she waved. They don't know shit about it, and that's how I like it. My 6-figure gig at Tech Fusion? My slick apartment with a view that'd make them choke? All mine, built from the ashes of their neglect. But the past claws at me like a rabid dog. 3rd grade, in clutching a report card with 5 perfect A's, practically glowing with pride, and Susan's at the kitchen table, flipping through some glossy rag, muttering, "That's nice, honey," without even glancing up. That same night, the living room explodes. Did you see how she projected her voice? She was the best one up there. Leonard roars, his face lit up like Claire's some fucking Broadway star. All for a shitty participation ribbon from her school play. I'm on the stairs, invisible, a ghost in my own house. Then the lights cut out. Boom, total blackout. Chicago's skyline vanishes, plunging me into darkness so thick it's like the universe is laughing at me. My hands shake as I fumble for a candle, the flame flickering like my resolve as it lights up. A yellowed envelope ID buried under a stack of bills. I rip it open, and there it is, me 8-year-old handwriting. Scrawled in furious crayon, "One day, they'll see me." The words hit me like a punch to the gut, a kid's desperate vow against a family that never gave a damn. I was 9 when I won my first spelling bee, standing on that creaky stage with a cheap medal, scanning the crowd for them. Nothing. Susan later said, "We had a meeting, sweetie." But I saw them at Friendly's that night, Claire slurping a milkshake, Leonard grinning like shed cured cancer. I puked in the bathroom after, the medal digging into my palm till it bled. High school was worse. Sophomore year, I bust my ass on a science project water quality analysis. That wins me a blue ribbon and a trip to the state competition. I'm buzzing, thinking maybe this time they'll show. Nope. They're at Claire's soccer game, screaming for her one lousy goal like it's the goddamn World Cup. I get home, ribbon in hand, and Susan's too busy braiding Claire's hair to notice. Senior year, the University of Chicago acceptance letter lands full scholarship. My ticket out, and trembling, dreaming of escape. But Susan's face twists. Chicago, that's so far. Away, Claire might feel inferior if you go there, when she's just attending community college. Leonard doesn't even look up from his paper. We've discussed this, you're staying local, end of story. Fuck that. I forge a community college registration, pack 2 suitcases, and haul ass to Chicago on a Greyhound. Heart pounding as the miles pile up between me and their bullshit. The candle gutters out, smoke curling like a middle finger to my past. I slam my phone down, Leonard's voice still echoing in my skull. The storm outside howls, rattling the windows, and I swear it's their ghost trying to drag me back. But I'm done hiding. That little girl's promise burns in my chest one day. They'll see me, all right? They'll see the woman who clawed her way up while they worshipped their golden child. I grab my laptop, fingers flying as I book a first-class ticket home. Not for Claire's precious fucking wedding, but to shove my truth in their smug faces. Let them choke on it. The first-class ticket burns a hole in my pocket as the plane touches down. My gut churning like a goddamn hurricane's about to rip me apart. It's been years since I bolted from that suffocating rancher hellhole 800 miles away. Suitcase in hand, a forged community college paper trail my middle finger to Leonard, and Susan's bullshit expectations. Now I'm back, not for Claire's precious fucking wedding, but to shove my six-figure life in their smug faces. My designer luggage bangs against my thigh. My University of Chicago diploma tucked inside like a loaded gun, ready to fire. The cab screeches to a halt outside my childhood home. And holy shit, it's a goddamn bridal circus on steroids. White roses cascade down the porch like some desperate cry for perfection. Swags of ivory fabric fluttering in the breeze like ghosts of my erased past. I step out and Susan's at the door before I can blink. Her honey blonde dyed job pristine. Her hug stiff as a corpse. Madison finally decided to support your sister, I see. Support? Fuck that, I'm here to detonate their delusions. Her words drip with judgment, like I'm still the invisible kid clutching a spelling. We meddle while they fawned over Claire's milkshake at Friendly's. Leonard storms out next, clipboard in hand. Glasses perched on his nose like haze. Some corporate asshole instead of a washed-up dad. Goodyear here, the programs need to be folded. In these guest welcome bags assemble, Claire needs these done by 4. He snaps, shoving the damn thing at me like I'm hired help. It barely dropped my bag, and he's already barking orders some old shit. Different day. Inside, it's Chouse Claire's mid-tantrum, hurling a glass vase that shatters like a fucking bomb on the hardwood. The centerpiece is off by an inch. This is a disaster. She screeches, then spots me. Matt, thank God the caterer is threatening to quit. And Mom is useless with the seating chart. Nice to see you too, Claire. She spits, her air kiss a slap in the face. I bite my tongue thinking of that 3rd grade night when Leonard roared. Did you see how she projected her voice? She was the best one up there? While I faded into the stairs. Then Eric Brady swaggers in. Claire's crypto millionaire fiancé, all teeth and Rolex. Reeking of cologne and lies. The mysterious sister finally appears. Claire said you were. Some kind of computer genius hiding away in the big city. I've got some friends developing an AI. Trading platform revolutionary stuff. We should talk shop sometime. He says, gripping my hands so hard my knuckles crack. His charm's a mask. And I see right through it. Years in Chicago taught me to spot a con a mile off. Dinner is a shit show. Eric's yapping about some deal that tripled overnight. His Rolex glinting like a warning flare, and I'm itching to call him out. I lean in, voice sharp. So which exchanges do you primarily trade on? His smile freezes, eyes darting like a cornered rat. Oh, a mix, mostly private platforms, exclusive access through my network were. Decentralize the beauty of blockchain, right? I've got partners in Singapore, Zurich, Dubai. He stammers, smooth as oil on broken glass. Leonard's glare cuts through me, Madison not. Everyone wants to discuss business at dinner. His tone of fucking guillotine. I smirk, phone buzzing in my pocket, and news alerts screaming about a crypto crash that day. Bullshit meters off the charts. But they're too busy drooling over Eric's fairy tales to notice. Then Susan corners me, hissing, look what you've walked in to fix it. As Claire sobs over a misaligned napkin. The house smells like vanilla candles and desperation. Every surface is staging ground for their golden child's big day. I'm choking on its same air. That suffocated me when Susan dismissed my perfect as with a that's nice honey, while Claire got a goddamn parade for a soccer goal. My diploma's burning a hole in my bag, begging to be unleashed, but not yet. The storm from Chicago's still in my bones. That blackout promise Eshowingani day, they'll see me. Eric's watching me, too close, his wink a threat I can't shake. I grip my fork like a weapon, knowing this is just the start. They think I'm here to play nice, fold their fucking programs, kiss their asses. They're dead wrong. I'm a lit fuse. And this house is about to blow. I'm barely 24 hours into this goddamn wedding circus, and the stench of bullshit is choking me alive. Now I'm prowling Leonard's study like a caged animal. The vanilla candles stink from Claire's wedding prep seeping through the walls. My gut screaming this whole thing's a ticking bomb. I'm rifling through his desk, fuck privacy. I need answers when I hit the jackpot refinancing papers, ink still fresh. Dated 3 weeks ago. Our house damn near paid off after decades. Now drowning in a second mortgage so big it could sink a battleship. My hands shake as I scan at hundreds of thousands, all funneled into some vague investment opportunity. Voices drift from the dining room and I freeze. Susan's whispers, "A knife, Leonard, are you sure about? The second mortgage, that's everything for my inheritance too." Leonard's smug as hell. Eric has guaranteed 20% returns. Minimum, this is what building real wealth looks like. My blood turns to ice. Eric, that bastard's claws are in deeper than I thought. I'm about to storm out when Aunt Harriet yanks me into the back garden. Her gray eyes wild. "He's a fraud," she hisses, voice low like we're plotting a goddamn coup. "Your father won't listen to me," started talking about how I've always been jealous of his success. Mr. Wilson down the street lost 50. Zero in an exclusive investment opportunity last year sounded awfully familiar. My mind flashes to Eric's Rolex, that wink at dinner son of a bitch. He's playing them like a fiddle. I bolt to Rosie's coffee shop, the same dive where I crammed calculus in high school, my laptop glowing like a war machine. The storm from Chicago's still in my bones, rattling me as I dig Ethan Lewis. Edward Lambert, Eric Lawson, 3 aliases, one face Eric fucking Brady, photos. Bank records, scam reports from 3 states, all screaming the same story. Charming asshole, big promises. Vanishes before the wedding with every dime. Margie, the waitress who's seen me through too many all-nighters, spots my screen and gasps. My cousin lost everything to a man who looked just like that, called himself Edward something. She drags Corinne over, her cousin, hands trembling around a mug. I thought I was special. He made me feel chosen. He disappeared 3 days before our wedding along with 60. Zero and my mother's heirloom ring. She sobs, sliding me a folder pictures. Statements, police reports that went nowhere. Eric's grin stares back, and my stomach lurches. He knocked her up and left her broke. A ghost town of a life. Back at the house, I'm a goddamn wreck, sneaking into Leonard's study again. The safe's cracked open empty, except for a note in Eric's slick handwriting. "Trust me, it's all safe offshore." Offshore, my ass, this is a heist, and they're too blind to see it. In pacing with Mr. Thompson, my old science teacher, hollers over the fence, "I've been following your career. That Chicago data science program you attended is one of the best in the country. Unlike your parents, some of us actually pay attention." His words hit like a lifeline, pulling me back from the edge. I'm not that invisible kid anymore. 3rd grade, Susan sets nice honey, while Leonard sheared Claire's shitty ribbons sophomore year, my blue ribbon ignored for her soccer goal. I fled to Chicago, forged my way up, and now I've got the ammo to blow this wide open. Rain slams the coffee shop windows as I piece it together. Eric's patterns clear as fucking day seduce. Scam, split. The wedding's 5 days out, and if Karen's right, he's gone in 3 with everything they've got. My phone buzzes. Claire's texting about place cards. Susan whining about flowers, but I'm past their petty shit. This isn't jealousy, it's survival. Leonard's betting the house literally in a con man, and I'm the only one who sees the cliff they're sprinting toward. The living room's a goddamn battlefield. Claire's wedding crap strewn everywhere, white ribbons mocking me like ghosts of my ignored spelling bee medal. I slam my evidence down, screenshots, bank records, Corinne's tear-stained statement, photos of Eric's smirking face across 3 states. My voice cuts through the vanilla candle haze. This is Hole's Ethan Lewis, Edward Lambert, Eric Lawson, Sang Khan, different names. He scams, he bolts. And he's 3 days from fucking you all over. Eric's lounging by the fireplace, cool as shit, and fires back. This is clearly a case of mistaken identity. I have a comment. These people mix me up all the time. I've never seen this woman in my life. His smile's a knife, but I see the flicker panic behind the charm. Leonard's face twists. Glasses fogging with rage. This is absurd, you don't understand business. At this level, Madison, not everything fits into your little spreadsheets. Claire's on her feet. Mascara streaming. Are you serious? You show up after 3 years? And immediately try to ruin the only good thing. In my life, you've always been jealous of me. Jealous? Fuck that and the one who saw through the snake while they drooled over his Rolex. I shoved the photo at Leonard. Look at the goddamn timeline, the pattern. Second mortgage, retirement fund. Mom's inheritance all funneled to this bastard's opportunity. He's gone in 3 days, just like Corinne said. My voice shakes. Not from fear, but fury. Years of Susan's, that's nice honey. Leonard's, did you see how she projected her voice, boiling over? Leonard roars, that's enough, you need to leave this house right now. His finger jabbing the air like a dictator. Eric slinks over, hand on Leonard's shoulder. Leonard, it's all right, she's just concerned for her sister, misguided, but coming from a good place. His syrupy tone makes my skin crawl. Practiced, predatory. Claire hurls a wedding invite at me, shrieking, you're dead to me. And the lights flicker like Eric's. Got the whole place rigged to bury me. Am done shrinking. Am not leaving, I snarl, stepping into their stunned faces. I'm not the same invisible daughter anymore. I didn't go to community college, I graduated top of my fucking class from the University of Chicago 3 years ago. I'm a product analyst at Tech Fusion, pulling 6 figures. Supporting myself since I was 18 while hole's fond over Claire's shitty ribbons. Leonard's jaw drops, Susan gasps, Claire's eyes bulge a bit and not finished. When he disappears with every goddamn dime you've got? Remember, I tried to warn you. The room's a graveyard. Silence thick as the storm howling outside. Windows rattling like my past clawing back their grade. Puking at friendly sophomore year, blue ribbon in an empty auditorium, Chicago. Forging my escape. Leonard recovers, voice I won't ask again, leave now. Claire sobbing, Eric smirking, Susan's wringing her hands like I'm the villain. I grab my evidence, papers fluttering like shrapnel, and head for the door. The wind slams it open before I touch it. A howl ripping through the house like my own rage unleashed. I step into the night, rain pelting me, Claire's invite crumpled in the mud. They think they've won, tossing me out like trash again. But I've got that Promethean day. They'll see me and the truths, a fucking freight train. Eric's 3 days from vanishing, and I'll be damned if I don't watch them crash when he does. This isn't over, it's war. 2 days before Claire's precious fucking wedding. And my phone's a goddamn war drum, 17 missed calls, 23 texts. 5 voicemails, all screaming for me to fix their mess. And back in my Chicago fortress, 15 stories up, Lake Michigan sprawling like freedom beyond my window. But the ghost of that rancher shithole won't let go. I flip my phone over, Leonard's voice cracking through the speaker like a broken King Madison. He's gone. Eric disappeared last night, the accounts are empty, everything, even your mother's retirement fund. Susan's next. Trembling, the police said without a written contract, there's little they can do. They called it a civil matter. Please, Maddie, we need you to come home. Maddie fuck, she hasn't called me that since I was 10. Clutching that spelling bee medal they ignored. Claire's text glows. Pathetic, you were right, I didn't listen, please help us. My coffee's cold, steam curling like the storm I walked out into. The rejection still stinging Claire's invite in the mud. Leonard's finger jabbing, Eric's slimy, she's just concerned for her sister. I warned them and they spat in my face. Now they're drowning. And am the goddamn lifeguard? I booked the flight second time this month, they're pounding like a jackhammer. The cab screeches up to the house. And it's a fucking graveyard wedding tent, half collapsed. White chairs stacked like bones, wilted roses rotting on the porch. Susan's at the door, makeup free, looking like she's aged a decade. You came. She says, arms hovering for a hug I dodge. Leonard's pacing, phone to his ear. Hangs up when he spots me, his eyes flick to my designer bag, my watch. Calculating. We thought perhaps you might be able to help with financial assistance until we sort this out. What will the Hendersons think? He mutters, throat clearing like Hayes begging. Susan wrings her hands, and the country club board your father is treasurer. Claire's curled on the couch in my old high school t-shirt just this. She rated my shitai swollen if you had been more supportive from. The beginning I might have listened, you were always so negative about him. The blame lands like a sucker punch, same as Susan's that's nice honey. While they cheered Claire's soccer goal. A sheriff's deputy knocks eviction papers, 30 days unless the mortgage is paid. Claire collapses, sobbing, he took my wedding dress too. Eric's betrayal a gut-wrenching spectacle. I set my bag down. Unbutton my coat, I can help with some things. I say, voice steel. I can help you file police reports properly. Contact my colleague who specializes in financial fraud recovery. Connect you with a lawyer who handles cases like this. He cannot replace the money you lost. Silence crashes like thunder. Leonard straightens. This family has supported you your entire life. I laugh. Sharp, did you want me put a roof over your head? Food on the table, that's the legal minimum, Dad. Claire uncurls. So you're just going to abandon us after being right? Is that what matters to you, being right? Susan gasps. How can he be so cold? Cold? Fuck the meme fire. I earned 6 figures, got substantial savings. And I won't sacrifice my security to bail you out of a mess I fucking warned you about. I snap. Chicago skyline flashing in my mind, the escape, my triumph. These are my boundaries. I'll help legally. Stay 3 days, want empty my accounts or cosign shit. Take it or leave it. Leonard's face reddens, Claire whimpers, Susan slumps. Thee see me now. Not the ghost on the stairs, not the kid they ditched for Claire's ribbons. The eviction clock's ticking, Eric's ghost laughing, and in their last shot. But this time, I'm calling the fucking shots. I'm 3 days into this fucking nightmare, and the air in this rancher shithole is thick, with desperation like a goddamn funeral for their pride. I set boundaries, legal help, 3 days, no cash, and now they're pushing harder. Leonard's pacing the living room, each stomp a fucking thunderclap. His voice booming as head of this family. I've always made decisions with everyone's best interests at heart. This situation requires a united front. United? Bullshit, they ditched me for Claire's soccer goals. While I puked over ignored spelling bee medals. Susan's vowing her hands. Ring clicking like a distress signal. Blood is thicker than water, Madison. Surely you understand that now. Claire's mascara-streaked face twists. You've always thought you were better. Perfect Madison with her fancy job and big city life. They've been at it for 27 minutes, a coordinated goddamn assault guilt. Pressure, the same playbook from when I was 8, winning that spelling bee. Susan lying, we had a meeting, sweetie, while they toasted Claire at Friendly's. I'm done folding. When I was 8, I say, voice cutting like a blade. I won the district spelling bee. You said you couldn't come because Dad had a meeting. I saw you at Friendly's with Claire, celebrating her shitty field day ribbon. Silence drops like a guillotine. 10th grade. My science project on Runoff 1. State recognition Sam night as Claire's choir concert. Back row, you picked her. Susan's eyes hit the floor. Graduation. You left for Claire's prom hair. Harriet bursts in, purse clutched like a shield. I saw it all. Every recital you missed, every achievement you downplayed. I watched this child wilt while you fawned over her sister. Leonard's face goes crimson. This is family business, Harriet. She fires back, I am family. I rise. Towering now will help with the house cover, the second mortgage. Consolidate the credit card debt, but I won't save your fucking reputation. Or pretend Claire wasn't scammed by a prick any background check would flagged. Leonard's jaw clenches. You don't get to dictate terms in my house. I do when I'm the one with the cash to save it. I snap, Chicago skyline flashing me escape, my empire. Claire lunges, tearing a paper from my briefcase, sobbing, you're ruining us. I yank out 3 contracts, my lawyer's work. Crisp as a gunshot, this outlines my terms, one-time fix, no ongoing tuition. Legal protections, no direct access to funds. I tap the second page. This acknowledges you favored one child over the other, creating emotional neglect. Susan shrieks, we would never sign such a thing. Then explain to the bank why you can't pay next month. I say cold as steel. Leonard's hands shake, glasses fogging. You've become hard. If become honest, I shoot back. Your best was fucking unequal. They sign, trembling as Claire collapses, papers shredded. I call Rachel Winters. Miss Winters, we're proceeding. With Plan A, yes, the full arrangement documentation signed. Copies in an hour. Harriet whispers Eric's taunt from Leonard's. Phone, thanks for the cash, enjoy the wedding. I turn, everything goes through Rachel, not Mathis isn't negotiable. Leonard's mouth opens, shuts. I grab my shit, storm out. Harriet following, will you be alright? I already am, I say, the sun blazing. The rental car's gravel Crunchesno looking back. They're fucked and I'm free. It's been a fucking year since I walked away from that rancher's shithole. And I'm standing in my craftsman bungalow. Sunlight bleeding through the bay windows like a goddamn victory banner. My old Chicago apartments got traded for this sullied-ass house. My diploma finally on the wall, Madison Ann Reynolds. Bachelor of Science in Data Science, summa cum laude. No more hiding behind winter coats. No more secrets. The maple desks littered with my new life mentorship files. Financial literacy notes in my laptop chimes, Layla's face popping up. Eyes blazing, I used that preparation technique you taught me. When they asked why I deserved it more than others, I didn't apologize. Or minimize, I told them exactly what I'd accomplish with it. My chest swells, you earned it, there's a difference. She got the scholarship, and I'm fucking proud, teaching her to stand tall like I never could at 8. Puking over ignored spelling bee medals while they toasted Claire at Friendly's. Outside, my garden's a goddamn miracle tomato seedlings cloying, through soil of battled winter to nurture. I pruned that rose bush to near death last fall, and now it's exploding with blooms. Thorns sharp as my resolve. A letter from Dr. Chun sits on the patio table. Ink stark patient demonstrates significant progress in establishing healthy boundaries and recognizing her inherent values separate from family validation. A year of therapy clawing through the wreckage of Susan's That's Nice Honey. Leonard's, did you see how she projected her voice, and I'm still standing. Wednesdays, I'm at the community center, teaching financial literacy to girls like Tanya, 17, quick as hell. Spotting a pyramid scheme, I showed her the numbers don't add up. She's me, reborn, and am her fucking lifeline. My phone budget shards update dad and mom still struggling to refinance the house. Claire working part-time at the local bank, attending therapy twice a month. No calls, no police, boundaries, a steel wall. Then Claire's letter hits. Stained with tears, I found your old diary under my bed. You were right about everything. I'm sorry, but it's too late, isn't it? I burn it in the garden. Ashes feeding my roast stew, fucking late indeed. Sirens wail, distant light, Eric's busted. Papers say, caught with some Newmark's cash. Karma's a bitch, but it doesn't undo their ruin. Tonight's the community center gala, auditorium packed. Applause thundering as I grip the award glass and medal, heavy with truth. No empty chairs where parents should be, just Dr. Chun nodding, Mrs. Grayson beaming, colleagues cheering. When I started this program, I say, voice steady. I thought I was helping others find what I never had. What I discovered instead was that worth doesn't come from external validation, it grows from within. When we truly see ourselves, the crowd roars and I'm goddamn invincible. Back home, I finalized the Reynolds Visibility Scholarship HESI prompt. Describe a time your contributions went unrecognized, and how you maintained your sense of value. Sasha's email pings, you saw me when no one else did, that changed everything. Twilight settles and I water my garden. Peppers and zucchini thriving beside those rose-knee hands, my strength. My fucking roots. The breeze whispers approval, and I touch that pruned bush cut back, now unstoppable. Some things grow stronger when cut back, I mutter, smirking as a news alert flashes Leanne's country club board gigs toast. Henderson's leading the charge. I don't give a shit, higher ashes and fire. This life's mine, built from the rubble, and am finally fucking seen.